Having a page on your website that allows customers to book directly into your calendar for consultations for larger orders, for weddings and big events, will really cut down on the time you spend corresponding back and forth with customers. They'll be able to book directly into your calendar, and that's you. No more emailing back and forth. So to do that, we'll need to first create a booking page on your website and then set up an account with a scheduling app. So let's get started with that. We'll first add a page onto your Squarespace site. So we'll scroll down to the not linked, we'll click on the plus icon, and then we'll select the booking layout. I prefer to use one with the description. That gives you an area to explain to customers exactly what they're booking and just give them a little bit of information before they go ahead and schedule their appointment. So you can name the page Cake Consultations, Wedding Cake Consultations, whatever it is that you're going to be offering. And that'll then bring us into the live page. As always, to edit a page in Squarespace, we hover over the area we want to edit and then click on Edit. You'll see there's the heading here, the space for us to put a bit of blurb about the appointment, and then there's this blank box. So this is where your calendar will appear at the end of this video. And for the moment, if we click into Edit, you'll see that it's asking for an Acuity scheduling page link. So that is the application we're going to use to connect a diary and a booking system to your website. If you've signed up with a business plan for Squarespace, then you'll get a free Acuity sort of first level plan with your Squarespace account. And that's all you'll need. You don't need to upgrade. That sort of their low level tier is enough to allow you to book with one calendar. So if you've got an account, the business account with Squarespace, you can go ahead and sign up for free. If you just got the personal plan with Squarespace, then the pricing for Acuity is here. This is the one that is complimentary, this emerging $15 a month. So that'll work out about £10 a month if you're in the UK. That's all you'll need, like I say. So it's really just up to you. Is it worth upgrading your Squarespace plan? Or is it worth just paying separately for the Acuity, depending on what plan you're with Squarespace? I do think, as you can see here, there's a 7-day trial, and you can watch through this video. I think you'll find that if you book a lot of consultations, this is really going to save you so much time and streamline that process. So I think it would be a good investment into your business. So from this screen here, you'll sign up with Acuity Scheduling. That'll take you here. You can use your email and password to create an account. So you can input an email address and a password to create an account. And as I said, it'll ask you to connect with your Squarespace account if you've got that business plan to give you the complimentary $15 a month plan. When you've logged in, you'll be brought to this page here. So this is sort of your home screen on Acuity with your calendar here. The areas that are greyed out are the areas that you're not available to take bookings, and the areas that are white are the areas that you are available to take bookings. To set up your availability, which is what we're going to do first, you can scroll down to the business settings and we'll click into availability. If you have the same hours that you'll take consultation appointments every week, you can input them into this top section here, and you will check this little box to say that you've got regular hours every week. So how you do that is, if I just delete Sunday, for example, let's say you just wanted to take appointments between 9 AM and 1 PM. So you type in 9 AM to 1 PM, click off, and then you'll see Acuity just sort of changes it into the 24-hour clock and updates your availability. If you want to be closed on a certain day, just make sure there's nothing in there and that'll set as closed. If there's a certain day that you know you're not available, even though it's a day that you usually are, you've just got something else on, you can set within the monthly calendar to override the regular hours. So for example, I know that I'm away this weekend here. So I just come in, delete, and then set hours. And that'll then update to show that I'm closed for this long weekend. It's really simple to set up your availability. Once you've done that, you'll just click save if you make changes here, save regular hours. Next, we're going to set up the types of appointment. So we'll go into appointment types. So the moment I've just got my web design consultation, and yours will appear blank when you get to this page. So you're going to click into new type of service. Here you'll name it. So if it's a wedding cake consultation, you'll call it that. If it's just a cake consultation, to keep it vague, you can name it that. Then if you want to just add a longer bit of explanation about the consultation, so give them some details about what's going to happen at the consultation, maybe just add some extra information for the customers, you can put that in there. And then show a message after scheduling. So on the confirmation page, you can give them some additional information. Maybe this is telling them what you want them to bring along. It could be just a thank you, as it says here. Just any extra bits of information, maybe where you want them to go, if you want them to come to your bakery, if you're going to go to them, you can just add those extra bits of information to appear to them once they've booked in for it with you. And so I'll just go test information just so we can have a look when we preview the final page. Next, you're going to set the duration. So probably a cake consultation will be a bit longer than my website consultation. So maybe you want to make that 60 minutes. If you know you'll take more than one consultation in a day, you'll probably want to block off some time after, so that when people are looking at your calendar, they can't book back-to-back 60-minute consultations. And that would be probably quite tricky for you to coordinate, unless you've got a team, of course. So if you want to block off some time after the appointment, you can see they've got some amazing suggestions here. Depending on if you're going from location to location, this time will obviously change, but we'll set that for 30 minutes at the moment. If you charge for your consultations, you can insert the price here. Then you can set up a payment system so it connects with Stripe, with Square, and with PayPal. And then when people book a consultation, they'll be asked to pay for it upfront before the consultation. So you can input a price here. You could add an image if you've got a logo file, an image of one of your cakes. I personally don't bother with the image because I find this is just sort of best to keep it clean. It's just the details that you need for booking. You don't need any extra images. And then this will be a public event. So a public calendar. So anyone who visits your website can go in and book. Private just means it would be for booking within your team. So it doesn't mean everyone's going to come along to your meeting. It just means that anyone who visits your site is able to book. When you're happy with all that information, you'll click Create Appointment Type. So then you'll see now you've got cake consultation here. Another thing you can add to your consultation booking is a form. So if you need to ask questions of customers before they book in with you or at the time of booking, you can add form questions. So you'll see here intake form questions. I have one set up from my website consultations, but you'll just see a blank page here and you can select new custom form. So this will depend on how you set up your consultations. If by the time you're sending them to the link to book with you, you've already had some dialogue with them, you probably won't need to include this form. You'll know everything you need to know already. If people are able to book directly on your site without having made any contact with you first, you'll probably need to ask them things like when their event's going to be, how many people they're expecting to cater for, what they have in place already. Do they have a theme? Do they have any examples that they want you to sort of use when you're creating your cake? These are the types of questions that you might want to ask. So first we'll give the form a name. So we'll say cake consultation. Again, you can add a little bit of description here. And these are the types of questions you can ask. So if there's anything that you need to have from a customer before, so again, address, if you meet at their location, that might be important to ask. But for the moment, we'll just go with a text box. So you could say, when is your event? And if you definitely need to know that before they book in, you'll check that that's required. And you can add a second question, which would be maybe tell me about your wedding. So for that, we'll probably need a little bit more space. So the first question was just a small single box of text. For tell me about your event, we'll give them a large box. When you're happy with your questions, you'll click Save Question and Form. Then you'll see sort of an example of what these questions are going to look like. Over on this side, you'll see which of your appointments this form is going to be applied to. You probably just have one appointment, so you'll just see cake consultation here and just make sure that box is ticked. If you've got more than one appointment type, then you can apply this to the appointment type that is appropriate. When you're happy with everything on this page, you'll click Save Form. I just noticed one thing. I don't want this to apply to make this happen, so cake consultation only and then Save Form. At this point, you can go and have a look at what your scheduling diary is going to look like. So on this left-hand panel here, see scheduling page link. This is your link here. You can copy that and then we can paste it into a browser and have a look. So you'll probably just have your cake consultation here. This test information was that section where you're adding a bit more detail about the consultation. We click in. People will then be able to pick a day that you're available. They'll be able to select a time that you're available. They'll add their information, and this is the form that we added. And when they're happy with that, so I'll just pop in some test information to show you. Oops. So then when they're booked, this is what they'll get. So again, this was the test information for information to show them after booking. They'll also receive an email with this booking, and then they can add that into their calendar, and it'll automatically go into your Acuity calendar. Now, it looks a little plain. You can go in and add some customization to how that appears. So we'll go into Customize Appearance. So you'll see the live preview of that here. You'll obviously be able to enter your business name at the top section here. You can write any instructions for this scheduling page, customize any of the sort of time format, and then add some colors. So there's the background color. If you have a color from your designer, you can input the actual code here, or you can select a tone here to match your website. So we'll go with that. So you can just sort of go through that, customize that. You can also change the font here. When you're happy with how it looks, I'll just put that back. You will just click on Save Changes. I mentioned that you could add payment to the appointment. To do that, you'll just scroll down to Payment Settings. Here you can set the currency, so there's a lot of different currency options here. And then you can select how you'll accept payments from your customers. So it's, as I mentioned, it's Stripe, Square, or PayPal. So you can do one or two of those options. When you select those options, it'll then ask you to connect your account, input your PayPal email address, and that'll then automatically connect. So when people get to that confirmation page, they'll be asked to make the payment before the appointment is actually confirmed. So I'll just set that back to none. When you're happy with that, you'll click Save Settings. So that has got the appointment types and your availability set up. From here, we'll now want to input this back into your Squarespace page. So what you need for that is this scheduling page link again. You can copy that. We'll go back to where we started on your appointment page, and you can paste that link in here. Click on apply. And now that box that we just sort of previewed is available on your website. So you'll click on save. And if we just make that full screen, you'll see that people can go through, just as we did in that example, and they can book some time with you for their consultation. So this is a really good way to streamline the whole booking process for your business. It means you don't have to go back and forth with them, who's available when, checking your diaries. If your availability is in one place, they can just come straight in, book a time with you, and that's you. So I hope you found this helpful. Any questions, as always, either drop a comment below or send me an email.